I'm standing here on the Canadian side of the world-famous Niagara Falls. Usually, this area will be teeming with tourists from all over the world. Right now, though, things look a little different. This is, after all, Ontario's #1 tourist destination and typically welcomes over 14 million tourists a year.
Now, however, the streets overlooking the waterfalls are eerily quiet. In March of last year, Canada shut its borders to all but essential travel, which meant that all international tourism to the area stopped. Then on Boxing Day, Ontario went into a province-wide lockdown, shutting the doors of many businesses in the province, including most of those here in the city of Niagara Falls, overlooking the waterfall. The town itself is a hugely popular tourist area full of attractions.
The focal point of it all is here on Clifton Hill. This area is full with souvenir shops, restaurants, attractions and rides. Usually this area is teeming with people, but right now it's a ghost town.
We spoke to one local resident who told us about the impact of the pandemic on the area.
It's pretty quiet right now. I mean, it's winter, so it's already a little bit of a harder time for businesses in Niagara Falls just because it's really cold. As you can see, I'm completely bundled up here, but also the Niagara Falls is frozen. With the impact of COVID-19, I think the struggle has definitely become a little bit harder. I mean, usually people would be coming over from the States just for a day trip. So many tourists aren't coming anymore. But even more so, like the locals just aren't coming around because all the businesses are shut right now due to the pandemic. So I think the bounce back from that is going to be a little bit tough. Usually locals on a Friday night would come around. They would go bowling with their friends, out to Boston Pizza. So many attractions around here because people don't just come for the falls, but they also come to, just have a day out. So I think that bounce back is probably going to be pretty slow. But hopefully once the restrictions get lifted, then we'll be allowed to come back down here and enjoy, the full-fledged Niagara Falls, which isn't just the beauty, but also the fun.
Niagara Falls Tourism estimates that the tourism industry brings in $2.4 billion for the local economy every year and supports over 40,000 people in the region. Last week, the Niagara Chamber of Commerce warned about the pandemic's effect on the tourism sector and called upon Ontario Premier Doug Ford to introduce measures to help businesses recover. These include clear and advance notice of any future changes, rapid testing capabilities to get employees back to work, continued support to those who need it, and using the private sector to support vaccine distribution and deployment. The current lockdown restrictions are due to expire on Tuesday, but as of yet, it's unclear whether businesses here will be able to reopen.
Whatever happens during the next few days, weeks and months of the pandemic, one thing is for certain: businesses and residents here will hope that tourism doesn't continue to fall